Morning.
Am I on?
Well, I thought so.
That's why we were late this morning. We couldn't find the microphone, and then we weren't sure we had a battery. I'll just talk loud. How's that?
No, are you on standby or on?
I'm on.
Okay.
Anyway, Tim, I got to tell you, I love the shoes. I don't know if anybody noticed, but he's got red high tops on. Too cool. So, as Tim said, we have the ABCs this month, and like him, I had to kind of search what it meant to me and how I was going to put it together and what it was all about. So I started, we're conditioned, right? You do it in order, ABC. So I started with A, which was awareness. And what did awareness mean to me? The first thing that came to me is continuing education. Whatever the field is, to learn more about it, to keep up with the evolution of it. I'm taking a color puncture class right now, going for certification, and I've got 4 more week-long things to do between this year and next year. But what's so exciting for me about it, not that I'm going to go out and practice color puncture all the time, but the brilliance of what it's bringing together. It was started by Peter Mendel and a man named Fritz Popp, who got the Nobel Prize for biophysics. But these men looked at everything. It was wave theory and the physics of it. And Peter went to India and studied the Vedas, and they've got the I Ching, and they're bringing sound and all of the wave theories together to do this. So it's more than color. It's sound and it's color, and it's using acupuncture points, and it's using iris diagnosis and tongue diagnosis, and bringing the spirituality into it and showing how it's so easy with the advances we're making in the different sciences to see what we believe. That science and spirit are one. And looking for how to unify that and how to work it. We call it consciousness flow. They call it information flow. We call it an illusory thought, or a thought that isn't seeing the truth. They talk about how it's an interruption in the information flow. It's all the same things, just keeping up with what the different words are. The other part of awareness that was really important for me is in combination with believing. To me, believing is a process as we work to really embody a belief. So, is my belief set in stone? Isn't it possible for beliefs to change? I don't believe the same things I did when I was a teenager. There are a lot of my parents' beliefs that I were taught that I have changed or gotten rid of because they don't fit me. So I have looked at different things as I learned different truths or had different life experiences about why those beliefs don't work. So in the awareness and the belief part, I realized that being flexible was very important. And being able to change and being able to flow. I look at how many times people are stuck in their life's career or what they've taught for their whole life and won't change that belief. You could see it when Linus, what was the guy that did vitamin C? Paul. But how his peers badmouthed him when he came up with that. And wouldn't allow that to come in because it would change what they had been preaching their whole lives. How invested we get in the rut of whatever we've been doing. Whether it's vegetarianism, whether it's meditation, whether it's whatever it is, whatever religion it is. How we get invested in the way we see the world. And how harmful that can be because it closes us off. We look and read things that support our belief system. We only debate from one side. We only view the world from one side. We judge, and we still judge. I'd like to not judge, but I still do that. But we do it from what's truth for us. But my truth isn't necessarily what's best for you. You need what works for you. It's not a one-size-fits-all. It's the part of individuality and flexibility that we have that allows us to grow and change and evolve and expand. But that comes through the awareness of education, of looking at all the sides. You believe a certain way and have a certain religion that you've been taught since childhood. You go with your family, it's all around those celebrations or those days or those holidays. That works for you. But in that, do you then badmouth other religions or judge them as less than? How many times do we not educate ourselves about other beliefs? It's very easy to make a class judgment. How many times have you heard people say all Muslims are terrorists? That's not a true statement. And do the people that say that even know what the religion that those people believe in is about? Have they learned that? We have wars over differences in belief. We kill in the name of whoever God you are over a belief. There's something wrong with that picture. It's using beliefs to divide. Using beliefs to make you feel better or think you're better or as a power differential. But if you bring awareness in and you start looking at your beliefs and you start learning what are other people's beliefs, then we start looking at unity through diversity, which is what Color Puncture is doing. They're bringing all the different aspects in, the science, the spirituality, the different ways of alternate healing, the different ways of the scientific healing, to bring it together to show that it works together. We were a great experiment when this country started. We were all going to be free. We were all going to be able to do what we want, learn what we want, think what we want, but it didn't really work out that way. We are still as divided as any other place in the world. We are still as judgmental. We are still as hate-filled. You see it every day on the news. That's not the world I want to pass on to my kids. That's not the world I want my grandkids to see. But it is the world that we have. But I only have the power to change me and to change how I do it. And I do it by constantly examining my beliefs. Why do I think that way? Why am I reacting that way? And I know there's no answer to a why. But it starts me thinking. What's going on that is bothering me? What is the emotion involved with it? How many times up here have we seen what they call tree huggers or environmentalists in the emotion of the moment doing something? How many times have we seen somebody for the spotted owl or something else and they climb up the tree and they make a home up there? But did they worry about the tree crying and the tree being alive when they stuck that nail in to put their platform up there? Did they think about the tree? Did the tree want that to happen? When they fight, the hikers fight the cows in the high country. The cows have a purpose in the high country. Their poop is fertilizer. They make paths, they clean up, they eat things that help keep it under control. The King Ranch, or not the King Ranch, the Hearst Ranch over at the coast, the kid that's running that has brought back every indigenous plant in California that was originally on that ranch. And it's a cattle operation. And they can live together. There's a way for it to come together. How many people were against forest fires? Because it was burning the trees. But if you don't have the forest fire and you don't have the heat, so many of those seeds don't germinate, you're not going to have those trees without the forest fires. Don't cut that tree down. Well, maybe that's right, maybe it's not right. Maybe that tree needs to go because there are too many trees there and there's not enough sun coming in, so they're not getting their total amount of growth. Education and awareness is important if you're going to take a stand on an issue. You don't just read or watch or see your side. You got to see where the others are coming from. They may have a point that you should consider. Where is the way that you can find the meeting ground between everything instead of making it a constant win-lose? So it can be a win-win for everybody and we do something to create a world that's a better place. I'm really getting tired of all the political stuff that's on. All the hate mongering. Angie and I were talking about this morning. There used to be boundaries. There aren't any boundaries anymore. They go in and they go after everybody and everything, like there's ever anybody who hasn't done something that maybe wasn't too cool or they didn't want to tell somebody about. We've all got those things in the closet or things we haven't shared. Perfection doesn't, in that way, and we know we're perfect, but that way to meet somebody else's standards doesn't exist. Someone's always going to find a way to not like what's happening. But if we want to have change, it begins with us. And it begins with our beliefs. And this works into the part of the compassion. Compassion is looking at it with love. How can everybody win? Looking at it without judgment. You're not wrong because you think something different than I do. That doesn't make you like a bad person. It just has someone that sees the world a different way. If you've got 4 people standing at 4 sides of the house, nobody is describing the same house. You'd go schizo trying to figure out what house they're trying to direct you to, because they all see it differently. We have different history, we have different emotions, we had different training when we were kids, we have different religions, different ways of approaching things, different ways of solving things, different ways of figuring it out, different ways of learning. How could we all be the same? We can't. If I want someone to love me and to not judge me and to like me and respect me and maybe want to be around me, to do things with me, I have to do that first. They can't resonate with something I am not, or not sharing, or not doing. Compassion is looking at the world with an open heart. That doesn't mean you have to be in love with them, but you love the beauty of the divinity within them. You respect them and honor them as a living being, as someone who has feelings and emotions and who cares. It's real easy to say, okay, we won't talk about that subject anymore. We can agree to disagree. That's an easy thing to do. You know something's really important to somebody, that they're invested in it. It doesn't matter to you, or you don't believe that way. What purpose is an argument? Everybody gets upset. They're going to believe more in what they believe because they're defending it. You're going to believe more in the unbelief because you're defending your stance. And there's no meeting of the hearts, or the minds, or the emotions, the love, the caring. It's a mini war. We do that within ourselves. We want peace on earth. We have to stop the judgment, the small interactions that build up to big ones. It's okay to say, wow, that gives me something to think about. Think about other people's views. Why do they look at it that way? I'm still struggling with the fact that Tim doesn't think lettuce cries, and it's okay to eat it. But we have fun with it. We agree to disagree, we joke about it, and we have fun. Does it matter? No. It's he does it what's right for him, I do what's right for me, and we're both happy campers. As long as the way you believe doesn't cause harm, it doesn't take that belief to where it's clear down the continuum that it becomes harmful or hate-filled or less than. If you can have your beliefs and your awareness of what's going on with a heart that's open and caring and looking for the value in everything and the win-win for everything, you're on the right track. It's important when we go and look at politics and when you look at where your vote's going to go. Be aware of everything that's on both sides. Be aware that the media lies to us, politicians lie to us, that you can't take anything for 100% truth. We have to be aware and educate ourselves, whatever it is that we want to do. If you're going to take up you get a new car. You educate yourself on how to drive that car safely, how everything works. Where's the radio? Where's the air conditioner? Where's the turn signal? Where's the gas gauge? Do that with everything. If you find yourself judging somebody, have a little talk with yourself and figure out what's going on. What are you not seeing? What are you missing?